As you can tell by that aptly made montage, I'm quite the Harry Potter fan. Though I wouldn't necessarily call myself a Potterhead because I don't read, I watch. Yeah, I know that after a bad day at the office, I can just put in one of these movies and get lost into a world full of wizards, magical creatures, and abusive aunts and uncles. That said, I think my love for Harry Potter really took off when I got a GameCube for my 8th birthday, and with it, the Chamber of Secrets video game. And for some reason people think Chamber of Secrets is like the worst one. Guys, come on. This game was developed by the now defunct Eurocom and published by EA before they discovered microtransactions. I rarely hear it talked about on the interwebs, but whenever I bring it up with friends, they recall fond memories with this game similar to mine. Nostalgia is great and all, but sometimes it can be very deceiving. So is the Harry Potter and the Chamber of Secrets video game as good as we remember? Well, let's dust off our wands and GameCube controllers and find out. Rather than open up at the dastardly Dursley's place like in the film, we begin right as Ron and Harry land at the Weasley's burrow. And in the next shot, we are reminded just how much of a budget the developers had when making this licensed video game.
Did any of you ever give a thought of how worried I'd be?
But...
Bed's empty, no note, car gone! Could have crashed!
So what if they couldn't afford the interior to Ron's house? I mean, they gotta save money for that washing machine fight. Come again? Yes, because what better way to practice dueling than with some good old-fashioned laundry battles? This dude puts up a good fight, but in the end, you remain victorious. He fought so hard. I do hope he gets his Smash invitation soon. Even though you don't get to explore the burrow much, I have to say that it looks pretty good. Very whimsical, colorful, and with the right soundtrack to boot. It serves as one of the many tutorial areas within the first hour of the game. The one spell you use the most is Flipendo, which I don't really remember from the movies, but it's a real spell according to the Harry Potter wiki. Why do I call myself a Potter fan? As punishment for stealing the car, Ron, Harry, Fred, and George are sent out to the garden to get rid of the gnome infestation. And by Ron, Harry, Fred, and George, I mean just Harry. Yeah, those lazy gingers make you do all the hard work in order to catch you up on some spells, or so they say. And what's this? A rubber duck? In the Weasley barn? Well, Mr. Weasley, guess you did lie about not knowing the function of a rubber duck.
Tell me, what exactly is the function of a rubber duck?
Liar! The real fun begins when you throw the gnomes out of the garden in a game of weight throw that you'll never need to remember again. Of course, if you really liked this incredibly easy minigame for some reason, you can return to it later at Hogwarts by talking to Neville. Because, you know, when you think of fun in games, you think of Neville. Personally, when I think of Neville, I think husband material. Back to the game. As usual, Harry f***ed up and banished himself to the Shadow Realm. I mean, Knockturn Alley. It's quite the charming place if you ask me. Oh look, a spellbook. Now let's go get it. Jesus Christ! It's that hand from the movie except 1,000 times worse! Oh, okay, press gently on the control. Now you tell me, game. Thanks a lot. And yes, you did see Bertie Bott's Every Flavor beans fall out of me like gold rings. That's because you can collect them to be used in a shop at Hogwarts. More on that later. For now, just know that I'm trying very hard to not lose any— oh my god. After you acquire the Lumos spellbook and leave Knockturn Alley, you arrive at the much more pleasant Diagon Alley and meet up with Ron's mom and his little sister, Ginny.
Harry, we hoped you'd only gone one fireplace too far. I was frantic with worry.
Oh, and also,
You put your name in the goblet of fire.
now of all the things I remember most fondly of the game, Diagon Alley is up there. In this day and age, it doesn't look too great. But back then, 8-year-old me was just so happy that he could walk around the square and inside shops. Well, the ones that were open anyway. In this scenario, Ginny asks Harry to look for 3 things she lost in 3 different shops. Gamble and Jape's Joke Shop, which is very easy, the Magical Menagerie, which has the first poorly designed stealth section, and the Leaky Cauldron, which has a pretty shady bartender.
There's more than butterbeer down in the cellar, you know, Mr. Potter. The Leaky Cauldron cellar is a great place to explore, Mr. Potter.
What the hell is that supposed to mean? Are you actually encouraging me to go down into the cellar where there are murderous beer barrels and turtles that shoot flames out of their anuses? Sir, I'm 12. Oh well, at least Hagrid is here, and he looks quite better from his PlayStation 1 days. So when you give Ginny back her things, you are rewarded with a chocolate frog that heals you. That's it. Don't worry, Harry. You'll get your real thank you in about a few years. Just give it time, lad. Now this is the part where we meet the most humble of wizards, Gilderoy Lockhart.
I will be taking up the post of Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry.
Oh, okay, we're doing the T-pose now. What's next? The Fortnite dance? What's going on?
Harry, we've missed the train!
Missed the train?
Missed the train?
Yes! The Hogwarts Express left 5 minutes ago!
5 minutes ago? Wait a minute. So you're telling me that we missed the train, Gilderoy Lockhart missed the train, Ginny missed the train, basically everyone that was in the bookshop missed the train. You know what, guys? Hogwarts is canceled this year. No more. I'm done. Missing the train won't be enough to stop Harry and Ron from attending school, though, as they have a flying car and it's gone. Ron gets captured by the Whomping Willow, and it's up to Harry to save him in a part that extends the 60-second scene in the movie to about 5 or 10 minutes. Here you'll go through some paths with traps that are really freaking hard to avoid. No, my beans, my beans! Honestly, the game isn't too hard and enemies don't deal that much damage, but losing your beans just makes everything worse. Look at them go. They're just gonna be gone forever. But those beans won't die in vain, though, because now we're going to take on the Whomping Willow.
Is there some kind of weak spot on the tree you can cast a spell at?
I don't know, man. You got me there. Now that the first real boss of the game has been defeated, we're going straight to Hogwarts. That is after getting chewed out by Professor Snape. Oh god, those eyes! Looks like a Margaret Keane painting. Alright, no more delays. 1 hour into the game and we have just arrived at Hogwarts School of Witchcraft and Wizardry. Before we head to bed though, we have to visit Fred and George's secret new shop. But for some odd reason, they decided to add a stupid stealth section between the two where you can't get caught by Percy, who is busy studying. Why? Anyway, this shop is the whole reason why you'd want to save up your Bertie Bott's beans, because you'll use them for currency to buy some gear.
How much is his Edgar Stroger card?
30 Bertie Bott's every flavour beans. 20 Bertie Bott's every flavour beans. 20 Bertie Bott's every flavour beans. 20 Bertie Bott's every flavour beans. Every flavour beans. 20 Bertie Bott's every flavour. 100 Bertie Bott's every flavour beans.
So in a nutshell, the game is a retelling of the events of the movie, just leaving out some non-important stuff. Like Dobby, really, he's not in the game at all. Oh, and that Gilderoy Lockhart being a fraud thing, totally not here. And sorry masochists, but Harry doesn't break his arm in this one. But that's okay though, because sometimes they say the exact same lines from the movie, like so.
Scared, Potter? You wish.
Scared, Potter? You wish.
See that? 100% guaranteed. The game takes place over a course of 6 days, because that's totally how long school years are, and you'll go through some basic video gamey stuff. Because you're at a school, you'll have to attend class, and by attending class, I mean you'll be chosen every lesson to go down into a dark, dangerous dungeon to receive a spell book while the rest of the students wait for you to come back.
Mr. Potter, come forward, please.
Really? I mean, I just did the dungeon yesterday. Come on, let's give someone else a chance. Hermione wants to volunteer. I mean, she volunteers for everything, am I right? Come on, let her go! Nope, just go in the dungeon and get a spellbook. If this sounds anything like a Zelda game, that's because it does. Only instead of the long, intricate, and well-thought-out dungeons of Zelda, you're going into these small ones, each ending with the same stupid gargoyle boss. When you get the Expelliarmus spell, you can deflect enemy attacks in duels. The problem is depth perception. At this point, it's best to play by your own rules and not the game's. Yeah, take that, Malfoy. Let me tell you, enemy variety in this game doesn't exist at all. They range from those floating spiked balls from Metroid, the flaming ass turtles from the Leaky Cauldron, ghosts that you can't attack at all, and heaven forbid, a bookshelf. Ah yes, my favorite part from the movie. As long as the movie we're referring to is Beauty and the Beast. The bookshelf part is not from a dungeon, but one of the many times you'll wake up in the middle of the night asked by Hermione or Ron to do some stupid task. What's that, Hermione? You want me to get Neville out from behind the curtain? No problem. I'll just go to the greenhouse to get the spellbook after I go to the library to figure out how to get past those weird plants from Metroid, and then I'll cut him loose. Even though he could have just, I don't know, crawled out from under the curtain? Yeah, I didn't need a good night's sleep before Quidditch anyway. Yes, don't worry, Quidditch is in the game, but as long as you follow the rules, you can beat it in like 40 seconds. I heard there was an entire game based on Quidditch, so if you want me to review it, please send it to me in my P.O. box, because good lord, I am broke as a joke, you know? Holiday season, gifts and stuff, I'm not selfish. So the majority of the game is spent completing 3 of these dungeons and doing stuff at night, like getting assaulted by flying books. You see, this is exactly why I don't read. Things really pick up during the last 2 nights though, when you are figuring out who is responsible for the attacks at Hogwarts. At first we suspect it's Hagrid, and we go to his hut to figure out what's going on. Unfortunately, he's in the middle of being arrested.
That's the key to the whole thing, and that's all I'm saying.
Rubius Hagrid, master of subtlety. Then we go into the dark forest and spiders! Get them off me! No, seriously, get them off me. They're everywhere, they're annoying, and they don't even drop any cool items when I kill them. This is easily the most annoying part of the game, but fortunately, like the rest of the parts of the game, it doesn't last long and ends with an okay boss fight against the spider from Metroid. Now yes, there actually was a spider in Metroid. Checkmate, atheists. The next day you play Quidditch for 20 seconds and then BAM! The chamber is opened. Now, let's take on that awful Basilisk. Now this boss battle is very simple. All you need to do is light a flare and then throw it in the opposite direction and watch it run towards it. Very simple, very foolproof. I honestly think most of this game's budget went into paying for the rights to use that damn T-Rex roar from Jurassic Park. Like everything else in the game, the Basilisk boss fight is very simple. Just use the sword's magic laser powers to attack the mouth, rinse and repeat until death. Why couldn't that have been in the movie? That was awesome! The next day, the winner of the House Cup is about to be announced. But before you head into the Great Hall, you are given the option to explore the castle at will to gather points if you need some more. I think I'm good. So there you have it. Chamber of Secrets on the Nintendo GameCube. So what do I think of it after 15 long years? I wish I was 8 years old again. The fond memories of this game will always come back to me the minute I boot it up. But the further I go, the more whelmed I get. For a licensed video game, Chamber of Secrets is decent, but it isn't Spider-Man 2 or GoldenEye. It's very clearly a dumbed-down experience meant for kids. It's a very simple game at its core, but that doesn't mean there aren't annoying parts like the enemies that just mercilessly fly at you with no tact, and I forgot to mention the poorly designed stealth sections with a camera angle that doesn't help you in any way, shape, or form. Huh? This really makes me wonder why I thought this was such an amazing game to begin with. What's this? You can equip the broom?
What's that over there?
Oh my god, this is incredible! Sure, it doesn't look that great by today's standards, but being able to fly around Hogwarts is the stuff dreams are made of. And it certainly made 8-year-old me a very happy kid. So even though I may not enjoy the game now as much as I did back then, I will always appreciate it for the great memories. Well, I think that about does her. One more video game for the books. Now then, it's the holiday season, meaning it is time for some essential holiday viewing, and Die Hard. So, I hope you guys have a very, very Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, all that good stuff. Now if you'll excuse me, I'm going to be watching this movie for about the next 20 hours or so. Ugh. Ugh, it's bogey flavored. Ugh.